Good morning, dear students. This is Manikera, lecturer in economics, working at APRJC, Patipudi. How are you all? We hope you are all actively participating everyday online classes because this is the best platform for us to utilize our time for attending and knowing our subject knowledge. While you are at home, you will get lot of information with regard to all your subjects. Only the thing is, you have to pay attention. You have to show your interest. Okay. We hope you are all involved online classes. So today we are going to another important topic from our second year economics from fourth chapter, that is agriculture sector. Earlier we have seen three important topics from the same chapter. What are those? Could you remember? First one is the importance of Indian agriculture sector. Second one, what are the features of Indian agriculture sector? And third one, what are the conditions of agriculture labors in India? So today in our discussion, that is another important thing, land utilization. How land is being utilized. This data has been given in the year 2009 and 2010, but recent data also there, that is 2019 and 2020, but actually in textbook 2009 and 10 it has been given already. This data only we have to understood. So land utilization particulars in million hectares. In million hectares. This is very important thing. So the land is the most important resource of natural resource. It is an important source. Land is the base for all economic activities. So therefore it is an important resource of any country. Land has the characteristics of inelasticity in nature. Land as always it has the characteristic of inelasticity. As long as population increases in a particular country, but land cannot be increased. Land nature is always inelasticity. It is a stock, it is a fixed, it is a stagnant. The economic development of a country or nation directly depends on the supply of land. Any country's economic development it depends on directly on supply of the land. That is very important thing. And the land out of the total land is available for cultivation. Generally, the certain proportion of land out of the total land is cultivation. Therefore, the rate of economic growth of a country depends on the optimum utilization of land. Every country, lot of land will be there. Total land will be there, out of which actually what amount of land it has been cultivating for different crops for our consumption purpose. That is very important. India has lot of land is there. Only we have 30% of land at the world. 70% is water with the ocean and sea. Out of 30% of land, we have to survive. We have to produce our crops. At a world, India is 2.4% in terms of area. In terms of population, India is 17.5%. So, what is the percentage of land at the total? At world level, 2.4% only in India. So when it talking in terms of 100%, that is total geographical area. Total geographical area. It is according to 2009 and 2010 land utilization in millions. In millions hectares. In million hectares. That is total geographical land is 382 382.72 million hectares. That is total agricultural land. Total agricultural, total land, geographical land. Out of which total reported area is only 305.061. Total reported area 305.61 million hectares. So not available for cultivation. The land which is not available for cultivation is 42%. That land is not available for cultivation. It means it is under forest, under mountains, sea, tanks, lakes, and other things not available for cultivation. And coming to area under forest, area under forest is nearly 70.04%. Forest land is under forest is nearly 70%. And permanent pastures and other grazing. Permanent pasture and other grazing is nearly 10%, 1/4. Then coming to land under miscellaneous. Land under miscellaneous. It is 33.51%. Miscellaneous for other purposes. Land is being used under different purposes. Miscellaneous. And coming to cultivable wasteland. Cultivable wasteland. Poramboku, Banjara land, which is not fit for cultivation. It is nearly 12.85%. Culturable wasteland. Then coming to fallow lands other than current fallow. Fallow land other than current fallow. It is nearly 26%. 26 or 27%. Current fallow and other than fallow land other than current fallow. Then coming to current fallow land is only current fallow land, it is 15%. Then coming to net sown area. Net sown area it is nearly 140.02 net sown area, which is very important thing. Net sown area. This is net sown area. This is the area where all the agricultural crops have been producing. Net sown area. Area sown more than once. Area sown more than once. It is nearly 52.17%. Area sown more than once, which means irrigation facilities not only available for one crop, but also for second crop also the irrigation facilities will be there. Area sown more than once. Not only for Kharif, even Rabi also the certain crops will be produced in this area. It is nearly 52% of land is available. Then total cropped area out of 382 out of total cropped area is nearly 192.19%. So nearly 200 millions hectares it has been under cultivation purpose out of 382 area. So Net sown area. Net sown area is only 140.02 million hectares. That is very, very important thing. That area it should increase a lot. Increase a lot because here it is culturable wasteland. Culturable wasteland is there and also not available for cultivation. Not available for cultivation. If that 42% and again 12%, 12% and 42% nearly 54%, 54% land if it comes under net sown area, our total cropped area would have been increased. Would have been increased. Our farmers they produce more crops, more crops. So this is all about particulars of land utilization. Land utilization. Land is being utilized under different purposes. How much land is being utilized under this category? What is the total net sown area? What is the area sown under more than once? What is the area under forest? What is the area under miscellaneous? What is the area under grazing and unculturable wasteland? These are all particulars. This is very, very important thing. Even in competitive exams point of view, also the land utilization pattern, they may ask you some questions. Some questions. What is the net sown area? What is the sown area under more than once? What is the area under forest? Miscellaneous. What is the total cropped area out of total geographical area? All these questions they may ask you in a different form. But this table is not important immediately, but at a glance we have to understand this concept in detail. In detail. Then coming to based on this land utilization things, three important things have been taken place. Important three things have been taking place. That is recent trends in land utilization. Recent trends in land utilization. Recent trends in land utilization. Recent trends in land utilization because of Indian government, that is the reclamation of wasteland and fallow land is the good progress as a result of land reforms consisting abolition of zamindari and mahalwari systems. It is a good progress because of reclamation of wasteland, reclamation of waste and fallow lands in a good progress. Reclamation means new land, reclamation cost. It means pudika. Pudika తీసిన తర్వాత new land comes under cultivation. And another important sign is abolition of Jamindari system and Mahalwari system. Also, more land it comes under government undertaking. Because of existence of Raitwari system, it is already it has been practicing Raitwari system. All the rights they are able to cultivate more land. It is under the Raitwari system. All the land it is under Raitwari system. There is no now the Zamindari and Mahalwari systems. They have been abolished before independence, after independence also officially. Then coming to recent trends in land utilization. Then coming to increasing the area sown more than once. Increasing area sown, increasing area sown more than once. More than once. Increasing area sown more than once. ఒక క్రాప్ కంటే ఎక్కువ క్రాప్స్ పండించేటటువంటి ఏరియా ఇట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ increasing the area sown more than once. Expansion of irrigation facilities along with the high yielding varieties. Expansion of irrigation facilities along with the high yielding varieties, HYVP, that is green revolution, and also short gestation seed crops. These two are played an important role for the increasing area more than once. Expansion of irrigation facilities and high yielding variety of seeds and short gestation period. స్వల్పకాలంలో ఎక్కువ పంటలు పండించేటటువంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ ఇండియన్ అగ్రికల్చర్ సెక్టార్లో ఆఫ్టర్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఆఫ్ గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ taking place. It has been taking place. So therefore, the area more than once it has been increasing. Then the recent trend is that is use of farmland, use of land, use of farmland for non-farm activities. Use of farmland under non-farm activities. Non-farm activities. Use of farmlands under non-farm activities. Lot of agriculture land it has been converted or shifting into non-farm activities. That is prawn culture, fish culture, tissue culture, and vermicompost, and all those things. Non-farm because of there is a lot of demand from comes from people, industrial corridors, industrial estates, and for house sites, for industrialization purpose, for school buildings, construction of corporate buildings, for all that purposes, lot of agriculture land it has been converted into non-farm activities because of lot of demand. So therefore, in certain areas, the price, land price, it has been increasing. That is real estate. Real estate means selling of land and buying of land. It is under the private people, but government interference will be there for real estate. House sites, selling of house sites or land sites and buying of land sites. That is broadly we can call as real estate. So after bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh, there is a lot of demand in land for land in Vijayawada and Guntur. Now the capital city it has been shifting to Visakhapatnam. Now there is a demand for land in Visakhapatnam and nearby cities. So this is a lot of trends it has been changing. So land utilization. Under land utilization, these are also recent trends in land utilization, land reclamation, and increasing the area sown more than once because expansion of irrigation facilities, green revolution, and short gestation crops. 3 months, 4 months, there is a crop because duration period is very less. Then coming to use of farmland under non-farm activities. These are all land utilization pattern. Land utilization pattern. Then coming to another important thing that is cropping pattern. Cropping pattern in India. Cropping pattern in India, which is very important question for 5 marks. What are the factors effects? What are the factors affecting cropping pattern? What are the Factors affecting cropping pattern. What are the factors affecting cropping pattern in India? Question number 4. What are the factors affecting cropping pattern in India? Which is very important question for 5 marks. What are the factors which affects cropping pattern? The cropping pattern in any country depends on two important things. The cropping pattern depends on two important things. One is fertility of the soil, fertility of the soil, and second one is irrigation facility. Irrigation, irrigation facilities. These two. The cropping pattern in any country depends on two important things. One is fertility of the soil and irrigation facilities. These two can decide the cropping pattern of any country's production. Then coming to the cropping pattern determines the development of a country. Cropping pattern will decide the development of a country. Then coming to definition. Definition of cropping pattern. Cropping pattern important for 2 marks. Cropping pattern is important for 2 marks. The pattern of utilization of total farmland. The pattern of utilization of total farmland for producing different crops in a country in a point of time. In a point of time. The pattern of utilization of total land producing different crops in a country in a period of time. That is called pattern of cropping pattern. That is cropping pattern. Utilization of total farmland under different crops at a in a country at a particular point of time. That is called cropping pattern. So generally in India or any country, there are crops can be divided into two: food grains, food crops, food crops, non-food crops. Non-food crops. Food crops. Food crops generally rice, wheat, maize. Under food crops, rice, wheat, maize, or other cereals, we can say. Whereas non-food crops or non-food grains, these are maybe sugarcane, cotton, potato, sugarcane, chili, potato, and cotton, cotton, and tobacco. All this comes under non-food crops. Oil seeds also. Oil seeds, oil seeds. These are all non-food crops. We can classify the food grains and the non-food grains. Food grains and non-food grains. From 1951 to 2012 and 2013, what is the total food grains? In each year, what is the rice it has been producing? Under 1951, rice has been nearly this much. Whereas 2011 and 2012, the rice it has been increased tremendously. All these things, it comes under food grain and non-food grains. Non-food grains. Then coming to certain factors which affects the cropping pattern in India. What are the factors which affects cropping patterns? After classifying different crops, now we are going to discuss about what are the factors which affects cropping pattern. That is physical factors. Physical physical factors. Physical factors. Under physical factors, there are three important things are there. First one is climate and rainfall. Climate and rainfall. Second one is nature of the soil fertility. Nature of the soil fertility. Nature of the soil fertility. Third one is irrigation facility. Irrigation irrigation facilities. These three under physical factors we can see these three important things: climate and rainfall. Climate and rainfall. Climatic conditions and rainfall determines the cropping pattern. Some crops require cool climate. Some crops it needs cool climate. For example, apple. It requires cool climate. So in India, where is the cool climate? If we go to northeastern states, Manipur, Meghalaya, Himachal Pradesh, Nagaland, all these areas, especially Himachal Pradesh, that is Nainital or Mussoorie, all these areas are comes under cool areas. There, apple, apple is being produced under cool climatic conditions, while some other crops requires hot climate. For some crops, it requires hot climate. For instance, apples will be produced in cool climate, orange also, but rainfall affects cropping pattern. Say for example, paddy and sugarcane requires abundant waters. Abundant water. Paddy and sugarcane, it requires abundant water. So therefore, climate and rainfall. For some certain crops, cool climate is required. For some crops, hot climate is required. Whereas rainfall also, less rainfall is for requires for certain crops, and abundant rainfall is important for paddy and sugarcane. Then coming to nature of the soil fertility. Nature of the soil fertility also determine the production of certain crops. For instance, wheat requires well drained silt and fertile loams. Wheat is requires well drained and silty fertile loam. For cotton, black soil is suitable, but the cotton black soil is the suitable. So nature of the soil fertility. For certain crops, that is red soil is required. For certain crops, black soil is required. Then coming to irrigation facilities, also determine the cropping pattern in India. So paddy, sugarcane, wheat, etc. requires assured irrigation. Paddy, sugarcane, and other jowar, bajra, all this. Paddy, sugarcane, wheat. It requires abundant rainfall, whereas ragi, jowar, bajra, all these dry crops, it requires less rainfall. If there is no rainfall also, that crops can produce. They can produce. If it is less, if they require less rainfall. So this is all about physical factors. Then coming to physical factors. Then coming to economic factors. Economic factors. Economic factors. Under economic factors, under economic factors, here also there are five important points are there. First one is price and income of income, price and income maximization, farm size, farm size, availability of inputs, availability of inputs, insurance against risk, against risk, and tenancy system, tenancy, tenancy system. So under economic factors, there are five important points are there. First one is price and income maximization. Prices. Generally, our agriculture farmers, they produce crops in view of higher prices. Keeping in view higher prices. The crops which gives more income and higher prices, such crops only our Indian agriculture farmers they produce. They produce. So because of they are giving more income, market fetching crops. So price and income maximization. Always all the farmers, irrespective of small and marginal farmers, they cultivate, they produce market crops, which can give higher price and more income to the agriculture farmers. According to Professor M. Dantawala, the area under commercial crops is increased in India as the farmers fetching higher income. As the agriculture farmers, they are producing more crops in view of market market oriented crops. Then farm size. There is a close relationship between farm size and uh, cropping pattern. If the farm size is less, it can produce more output sometimes. If the farm size is high, which can produce less. It is a wrong notion, but always there is a close relationship between farm size and cultivation of crops. If the soil fertility is good, even the land holding is small also, which can produce more crops. It depends upon the farmers, uh, depends on cultivating methods. Then availability of inputs like seed, fertilizer, pesticides, machines, all affects the cropping pattern in our country. Infrastructure facilities such as transportation, storage, marketing, and All these things also influence cropping pattern. Infrastructural, that is availability of inputs, seed, fertilizer, pesticides, transportation, all these things are favorable. Even producers, farmers, they can produce more outputs. Then insurance against risk. Sometimes agriculture farmers, they may face lot of risk while producing certain crops like tobacco, chili, and sugarcane, and cotton, all these things. Sometimes the crop failures are taking place or fire accident may occur. During that times, if they could already certain insurance facilities, if they uh, issued the insurance for certain crops, they may claim the amount. They may claim amount. Crop insurance. If the government introduced crop insurance which protect the farmers against risks. So therefore, even government also crop insurance scheme it has been implemented since 1999. Even 2004 and 2005, recently government has given lot of benefits through agricultural insurance, weather insurance, all these things facilities it has been given for agriculture farmers. Insurance against risk. During that time, agriculture farmers they may get a lot of benefits. Then coming to tenancy system. Tenancy system also it is very important. Existing tenancy system in India influence the cropping pattern. In fact, the landlords decide the cropping pattern to ensure maximum profits under land lease. Even farmers also they have to decide what extent profits they may get after giving up certain land for lease. So land tenancy system also it is very much affects the cropping pattern tenancy system. And another important thing is social factors. Social factors. Social social factors. Social factor also it is very important thing. Social environment, customs and traditions, etc. also increase the agricultural production. Crop pattern of these factors induce farmers to cultivate traditional crops. Sometimes agriculture farmers they may produce traditional crops. After advent of green revolution, more farmers they are producing modern techniques, modern crops. Then coming to government policies, government. First one is physical factors. Second one is economic factors. Economic factors. Third one is government policies. Government policies in terms of relating to different crops, exports, taxes, subsidies, supply of inputs, availability of credit, and minimum support price. All these things, if government in a position to provide to farmers, farmers they produce more crops. So government policies also sometimes it affects the cropping pattern positively or negatively. So because of the prices, minimum support price, subsidies, and agricultural price and taxes, exports, credit facilities, all these things will decide the cropping pattern immensely. And another important 5 marks question that is organic farming. Organic farming. Organic farming, which is very important for 2 marks or 5 marks. Organic or natural farming. 2 or 5 marks. Organic farming or natural farming, which is very important thing for examination point of view. What is organic farming? Earlier, what type of methods our agriculture farmers they followed? Generally, in modern agriculture, largely depends on use of chemical and fertilizers and pesticides and farm machinery. The application of such inputs have increased production in many fold, and labor efficiency in many folds, but it leads to adverse effects on soil health and human health. By applying of modern techniques, modern inputs and farm techniques, it is very good for the production of food grains and other things. But it is adversely affects the soil fertility and human health. Many of these pesticides used today may cause cancer, mutation, and other problems because of high application of fertilizers and pesticides and chemicals, which can harm the fertility of the soil and also human health. As a result, many of diseases that we are facing, cancer and mutation, even COVID-19 also, it is through mutation. One to one, one to many, it has been spreading mutations and other problems. To protect environment as well as public health, use of biofertilizers and pesticides is the best method. To protect environment and human health, biofertilizers and pesticides are the best method for cultivation purpose. Chemical free, it is much more important. Biofertilizers and pesticides. So this is possible through sensitization, education and training of the agriculture farmers. Organic farming is knowledge based rather than input based. Organic farming is knowledge based by sensitization, education and training of our agriculture farmers to divert from their old type of methods, cultivation methods to modern methods. So natural farming builds the health of the soil, producing for healthy crops and protect the land. Organic farming enhance soil fertility and biodiversity. Organic farming is not a easy task. It is very important thing nowadays. So therefore, the methods of organic farming like production use of vermicompost, Jivamruta, Ganjivamruta, all these things, which is very important. Nowadays, there is a lot of demand for organic farming, which can enhance the soil fertility and also it can enrich the human health. Use of biofertilizers and pesticides. That is called organic farming. Organic products available in the market. Bellam, the jaggery, is organic jaggery. There are a lot of products are there which can protect our human health. So this is simply organic farming. If organic farming comes, that question comes, we have to write use of biofertilizers and pesticides. Organic farming is not a input based; it is a knowledge based, rather input based. Sensitization, education, and training of our agriculture farmers. That is called organic farming. So, if the time permit, we have to discuss another important question from this same chapter, that is importance of Indian agriculture, irrigation facilities. What are the types of irrigation facilities? All these things. Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity and thank you for this watching.